Thank you for joining us. It's good to be back with you again on today's episode of the program Shagalinko TV. This is a Saturday's edition, and yes, we're starting a new series after we finished the gender-based violence series. Now, this series will take us from now till the end of the year, talking about December 31st, and it's a series, that we call the end of the year series, and we're starting off the first of the series today with our guest, Lady Anike-Ade Funke Treasure. She's a broadcaster, an author, a life coach, a woman of many parts, and we'll be looking at something very dicey. I know a lot of you might not agree with what we're going to be talking about today, but then it lies on her to dissect and put it in the right perspective for you all to understand. Now, every year, we realize that people go through a whole lot because of the Christmas, the New Year celebration, and everyone wants to impress. Some people go out of their way to even get loans, borrow monies here and there just to make sure they have a fun filled celebration. Now, it's not just for Christians because there is also public holiday. So people from other faiths are also forced to observe the public holidays because it's non working periods, and then people do a whole lot of travels. So we are asking that how can people learn to live within their means so that they don't overspend during the festive period and they wake up in January and realize that there are house rents to pay, children's school fees, so many other bills to pay, and they've spent all their monies with the celebration. Now, today we'll be looking at leadership within the family, and Lady Funke will be doing all that for us. Let me bring her in so that she'll also introduce herself properly, and then we'll take it up from there. Hello, Lady Funke. Good to have you again.
Thanks very much, Ambassador. It's good to be back on your show. Thank you very much. I heard you saying I should introduce myself. You already did the introduction. Nowadays, people like titles and profiling and all of that. But, it is what you do, what you deliver that matters much more than the very many descriptions. So I'm glad to be here. It's just fine. Your introduction of me is fine.
Yeah, but I need you to also take us through the award you got yesterday because your profile keep rising. You just launched a book recently, and then so much is happening with you. So take us through the award you had. It now seems coincidental. Every time we need to have you on the show, something very good and big is happening to you. The other time we had you had a book launch a day before, and here we are again having an award, receiving an award yesterday and going on today. Take us through that, Lady Funke.
Okay, so this particular one today wasn't planned. You didn't realize I was going to get an award. No, you didn't know that. Yes, I was given an award. First of all, they had told me that I was going to be given an award as a soul surgeon, and I said to myself, so now I'm a surgeon, a soul surgeon. I thought that was flattering, and they said that it's because of all the things that I've been doing. And then yesterday, when they gave the certificate, it was a medal of honor and distinction for leadership in all the areas I've led and made a mark. So I'm grateful to the organizers, the African Youth Forum, and then their partner organizations. It was really good to be appreciated. And I feel towards the end of the year, it feels like it's a recap and an evaluation of the year for me. And we all know that 2020 has been an interesting year, to say the least. So getting recognized in spite of what we've all gone through during the year, and what I have also personally gone through in the course of the year, felt really good yesterday. So here we are, we're talking about leadership at home. And I just want to say that when you have to lead yourself first in order to lead others. And when you're leading yourself, you lead with your head. When you're leading others, you lead with your heart. That's paraphrasing my leadership mentor and coach, Papa John Maxwell. He would probably say we all just say John Maxwell. But we're Africans, so I just added that papa there. But yes, so I'm going to be paraphrasing a lot of things that John Maxwell has said in many books and in many conferences and webinars today as I talk about leadership at home. So yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for setting the tone. In case you just joined us, this is the Saturday's edition of Shagalinko, and we have with us multiple award-winning broadcaster, author, life coach, and a whole lot. She'll be telling us a little more as the program progresses. Lady Anike-Ade, also known as Funke Treasure, and we'll be looking at leadership from the home front, the family, vis-a-vis trying to marry it with the festive period that's about coming. Okay, Lady Funke, let me even ask this. Why do people go all out, even if it's from the wrong notation or notion, to make the festive season or any festive season for that matter way off the bill? Now, when I talk about festive season, I'm not just talking about maybe Christmas, Salah, Easter. You find people who are also wedding, they wouldn't want to cut the cost and live within their means, and then they do weddings and many months later they are broke, they can't afford so many things, they go through financial issues. You find people who want to put their kids in school, they won't look for schools that are within their range. They want to like, oh, my XYZ friend's son is in that school, so mine also have to be in that school. Is a thing of class. I want when I'm in my circle of friends, when they are saying their kids are in XYZ, I should also be able to say this. Why do we live sometimes above our means and not considering the tussle that will come out financially later?
Why do we live above our means? I'm going to take it from there. I said something about self-leadership. You lead with your head. When you're leading others, you lead with your heart. Having said that, anyone can steer the ship, but it takes the leader to chart the course. And this is how I'm applying that quote. Everyone can steer the ship, but it takes a leader to chart a course. Part of being your own leader, your self-leader, is you sitting down to plan what you want to do and chart a course for yourself. And when you chart a course for yourself, then you begin to chart a course for the family. The first step to charting a course for yourself is to evaluate who you are and evaluate what you have. If you cannot talk to yourself, then you have no business talking to other people. If you cannot lead yourself, you can't lead others. So when you sit down to have a tete-a-tete with yourself, to have a conversation with yourself, one of the things you should be asking is, why am I doing this? Why should I do this? Why am I onto this project? Why do I want to travel home for Christmas? Jesus was not born in your village. So why must you go to the village every time it's Christmas? It's your wedding day. It's not my wedding day. And it's not any other person's wedding day. How do you want your wedding day to be? How do you want to remember it? Is it about the ostentatious spending or about a quality time? Do you want to have your wedding private, beautiful, quality people, quality food, perhaps 50 people in attendance or 20 people in attendance, but you really enjoy yourself? Or do you want to have 1,000 people and everyone's scrambling for food to eat and everyone is sighing and shaking their heads to the left and the right and saying, why am I here? Because there's no food to go around and there are no drinks. Just because you want to be like like your friend who did hers at some hotel, some beautiful hotel somewhere, or at some hall somewhere. The first thing about self-leadership is to understand what you have going forward and how you can maximize what you have to get what you want. In the first instance, where are you going? If you're traveling for Christmas, who are you going to see? Your parents? Your old schoolmates? What's the essence? Why are you spending so much to go home? What point do you want to make? And if you're not going home, are you hosting people? If you did not host people, you don't host people. Will Christmas be the same? And this is what I tell people, Christmas is overrated. Actually, for me, what I've discovered is that the few days, the beginning of December to Christmas to 24th is actually the Christmas. The award ceremonies you go to, the weddings, the carol sessions, all of the activities, all of the events around Christmas represent Christmas. So on Christmas Day, you probably find yourself at home eating, drinking. Everyone is cooking at home. Everyone is eating fried rice, jollof rice, and wine, and So what's new? Which tells you that at the end of the day, Christmas is about wining and dining with loved ones, your bestest people, your favorite people, and you're laughing. It's about laughter. It's about merriment in your own space. You do not have to impress anyone. So how should a woman lead at home? Guys, let us plan our Christmas. What are we eating? Where are we going? Can we afford a holiday? If you can, that's fantastic. If you can't, it's okay. Just plan a very good meal, decide on what to wear. Actually, most people don't even go to church on Christmas Day, because once you go for Christmas Eve or New Year Eve, as the case may be, you're tired in the morning, and what everyone does is just eat breakfast and hit the bed or start watching TV. These days, there is Netflix, and there are movies to watch. So don't beat yourself blue, as it were. Don't put yourself under pressure. That's what I mean to say. Do what you can afford. As the woman of the house, I always tell women, leadership is about influence. That's just it. There are no other things about leadership other than influence. And the woman of the house is the greatest influencer in the house. You influence the children, you influence your husband, you influence his family. So how do you spend your influence? How will you spend like you will spend money? How will you spend your influence within the family? You have to calm everyone. When someone is going, is becoming pressured, it is your duty as an influencer within the home to bring the person down and say, so what's the root of this pressure point? What do we do? Oh, we need clothes for Christmas. What happened to the ones you have at home? What do you need to jazz it up? What do you need to do you have to come at par with your friends? Your friends have seasons of life, you have seasons of life, and we're not all at the same season of life. It might be your season of refraining. It might be ambassador's season of showing forth. It would be wrong for you to look at him, his season of life, and want to be like that when that's not your season of life. It may be at the winter point of life at that particular time, and you're at the summer point of life. How do you, my friend, how do you compare both? Life is also in binaries. This day, it's daylight for you. Tomorrow, it may be a darker time for you. So stay in your season of life. Be the influencer you are within that season, within your home, within your space, and let people shine forth in spite of their seasons of life. I don't know if I've made myself understood.
Beautiful one. Stay in your season of life. For everyone watching right now, if you have questions for my guest, Lady Funke Treasure, please drop them on the comment section. Either your opinions, your comments, your questions, just drop it there and she'll be attending to them. This is the Saturday's edition of Shagalinku. Lady Funke, I will read some messages here that came up when the post was put out yesterday. This is from Matthias, and it says, there is this saying, cut your coat according to your size. Spending wisely this season is very key. So it is imperative that people plan financially and spend wisely within their financial power in order to avoid January Koboko effects. What do you have to say?
It's true. I started with planning. If you cannot plan your life, I mean, if you look at a champion, check that champion's daily routine. I'm going to say that again. If you see a champion, check his or her daily routine. Because being a champion, being successful is a culmination of your daily routines. When do you wake up? What do you do when you wake up? What books do you read? Who are the people in your inner circle? If you have people put you under pressure in your inner circle, you're going to be perpetually under pressure, and you're going to be doing things that are not in sync with your own person, with your own self. And that will put you in trouble perpetually. You'll be wanting to meet up with people, expectations of you, people's expectations of you, instead of your own expectations of yourself, depending on what you have within you, what that God has given you, and what you have on the outside, what you've been able to get for yourself. So it's very important for you to know that the grass is always greener on the other side until you get to the side and then you see that it's been perspective all the way. Excuse me. So then you see that you've been wrong all the time. It's why do we get surprised when we hear that someone has committed suicide? I'm going to ask that question again. Why are we surprised as himself, a rich man, from all standards, very okay, but he shot himself yesterday? Why? See, the grass is always looking greener on the other side until you get into that person's space and you see that this person also has things to deal with. And so it's good to appreciate where you are in the season of life, appreciate what God has given you, appreciate what you have been able to put together in this difficult year 2020. Appreciate the fact that you're still alive. At some point in the year, every day, someone was dying that we knew. Someone that we knew will die. And we were all humbled. We were all scared at some point, like, who's next? Right? But we've all survived. Some of us have survived it to this point. It's something to be grateful for. Because if one had died, you'll be thinking of Christmas. The person is gone. So why don't we just be humble and appreciative of life, first of all, that we have life, that we're talking, oxygen, we're oxygenated, as it were, is something to appreciate. Look, and as I said in one of my posts during the week on WhatsApp, I said to my followers on WhatsApp, I said, whatsoever you do on Christmas Day or this Christmas season, don't be caught crying. Do not make yourself miserable. I have been there. So you think of this, your situation, and that, and that, and that, and you sit down on Christmas Day and you begin to cry. Maybe it's the fact that you do not have a child, or that you do not have any money in your account. It's completely red, zero kobo, or that someone's broken your heart, or that you think you do not have friends. Actually, you have. Whatever it is, or you can't pay your rent. These are situations that can change at any point in time. They're not permanent, they're temporary, it's a passing phase. These examples that I have given are passing phases. Okay, let's just say that, okay, you know that permanently you can have a child. And so what? There must be a reason why you were created to not be able to do that. Or perhaps it's a mistake on your part and it's scarred you for life. Then what do? Kill yourself? No, you bloom where you're planted. You make lemonades out of the lemons you're given. And don't think it's easy to say, look, I have been there in many dimensions. I'm not talking of what I've not gone through. Look, forget the glamour. I'm not even that glamorous anyway. But forget the facade, what you see. We are all going through at different times of our lives. And if I say I have cried on Christmas, like I sat down 2 Christmases ago, sat down and cried very well. And then after you should see my eyes were, as I said in that WhatsApp post, I said my eyes were kumba kumba, like frog zone, like double. And then what? You just make yourself miserable. On the other hand, so I met with this friend of mine and I said, Christmas, I remember 2 Christmases back, this is what happened to me. He said, oh, it happened to you. It has happened to me too. I said, this Christmas, I'm going to be telling people to not be caught. Do not make yourself that miserable. You don't need it, because the circumstances will change. Trust me, they will change. And so he said to me, look, when you're telling them, tell them that I cried too. And this is a man, an old man. Said, please help me tell them. And if they want my number, give them. I will tell them that it happened to me. So I said, what did you do? What happened? Because I was quite surprised that, oh, really? And then I was holding back a bit not to tell him that, see, oh, this has happened to me before. How are the mighty fallen? You know, should you be telling people that you've gone through this fine Anike-Ade Funke Treasure? People should not be knowing that about you. Hey, people should know, so they know that they're human too. And so you know that there is nothing strange happening to you. It happens to everyone. So he said when he cried for 3 hours, said he just sat down and cried and bemoaned his station in life. And then when he finished crying, you know, when you finish crying, it's like calm after the storm. Your body will now be calm. You'll be calm in your soul and your spirit, and things can enter into you at that time. So sometimes crying is a therapy. If you have to cry at all on Christmas Day, let it be therapeutic for you. So he said he then asked himself, okay, so what do I do with myself now? I don't have anybody to celebrate Christmas with. What do I do? He said suddenly he remembered somebody. So he called and said, this family, how are you people celebrating Christmas? He said, Christmas, we are not celebrating, there's nothing to eat and drink. He said, oh, really? Okay, let me send money to you. So he sent money to them to buy rice, to just cook chicken and everything. He said he took his own bottle of wine and went there. He got there, told them, this is what I want from the chicken, this is what I want, this is what I want. They gave him. They all sat down and ate. He took his wine there. They took the drinks he bought for them. And then they laughed and all of that. He picked his keys and went back home. I said, so how did that make you feel? He said, it made him feel that, look, no matter what you're going through, some people are going through worse things. His problem was not buying food for Christmas. His problem was that he didn't have people around him to celebrate Christmas with. His problem was that there was no wife. His problem was how lonely it is this Christmas. But there was a family, a whole family, not a person. A whole family who didn't have anything to celebrate Christmas. And then he went. So Christmas is about sharing, basically. It's not about you proving anything to anybody. Look, I do not have any new clothes for Christmas, and I do not care a bit about it. I'm going to wear what I have. I'm going to feel good. I'm going to visit if I want to, and I'm going to probably order a pot of soup if I don't want to cook. I must not cook. It's not compulsory that I cook. If I like, I can do Titus fish. If I like, I can do chicken. That's if I like. And I can spend the whole day on Netflix, flipping from one channel to the other. After all, we do that on any other day. So if you have only one decoration, it's okay. You must learn to be satisfied with where you are in life and then project for what you want in the future. Now I can talk about that bad Christmas, yeah? But I went through it first to talk about it. So there's nothing new happening to you, my friend. Cheer up and do the Christmas this year the way you can.
Thank you very much. We still have Lady Funke Treasure here, and we're looking at leadership within the family. Now, let me ask you this quickly. What can couples do when there are conflicting interests? I know some people, some marriage counselors will say God has a way of bringing couples together. So you find one who's very extravagant, you find one who's very prudent, you find one who is very meticulous when it comes to spending. You find one who says, let's just go hit it. We'll finish the money and then we'll come back. And so where do people reach that divide where they need to come to a compromise or a common ground and say, you know what? Kids will resume school in January. The house rent will expire. We need to do X, Y, Z. Because the truth is, sometimes it's even the other party that's not seeing reasons why we need to curtail, One, for budding couples who want to get married, one is saying, make we scatter am. My party go scatter. Hey, wait. The other one is like, let's just manage. There are bills to be paid. And so it's one's influence over the other. And I like what you said in the beginning, that leadership is all about influence. How are you able to bring to the table and influence and attract someone to buy into your idea? So where do we begin to make all this? Because the truth is, even in all these things, people will still not hear and go ahead and do all that, and then they'll start blaming January, that January is a bitch, January is a this, January is evil, and all that. And I like one fact you said, that people mustn't travel. After all, Jesus wasn't born in their village. It's something people don't really want to take into cognizance. So every year they save up from January to December to spend that money. Tell us what you think people should do.
Leadership is a measure of influence. Nothing more, nothing less. And again, leadership touches the heart first before asking or reaching out for the hand. Leadership touches the heart first before asking for a hand. If you have a spouse who's the direct opposite of you, what you do is to touch his heart first, or touch her heart first before you ask for a hand. So what you do is, and we've often heard the saying that there's a king and a beast in all of us. You will get the response from the part of the two you're talking to in anybody or from anybody. For instance, if you're talking to the king in me, you'll appeal to me in a way. If you want to attract the beast inside of me, you would talk to me in a way that will get you nowhere, right? So when you want to touch the heart of somebody, you talk to the king in that person or the queen in that person, right? So when you do that, you come from a logical perspective and a loving perspective. You don't go nagging and nagging. You don't go yelling and yelling and think that you will make me do what you want me to do. You have to make me see reason. And if I'm not seeing reason, you wait. Look, strategy is also available. You can apply strategy even within the home settings, not only in organization that we talk about strategic management, right? So you apply strategy. You know this is your spouse. You know when he's happy. You know when he's not happy. In my book, Memories of Grandma, I talked about how I'm going to speak with my mom to do something or to ask for something when she's behind her singer sewing machine, humming to herself and making a dress for me. It tells you that I know when to approach my mom. I know when she's, or rather, talking in the past tense, that I knew when she was extremely happy, and I knew that that's the time to go ask her for something. It's most likely that she won't say no, and she won't be reactive. Do you understand? The same thing with spouses. You know your spouse so well. You know when she's happy. You know when he's happy, and that's the time that you should approach to discuss things that are sensitive. You know at that time that person is in a good mood, and then you can deploy strategy, more even deeper strategy. Like, you know what? I just think that maybe we should pay now for the children's school fees in January, so we don't have to be under pressure in January. Let's just pay now, because things will just start happening in that January. So let's take this off us. You know that once you pay for the children's school fees, but the revenue goes down, the family budget goes down, and then you can now begin to have a budget, a roundtable budget meeting, children and the parents, and then you can then say, okay, this is what we can afford. This is what we can afford. Junior, we can't afford this because this is what we need to do. It's opportunity cost, basic economics. These are our demands. These are our needs. This is what we can afford. This is, demand and supply. This is opportunity. Do you understand? So you go to that basic with your children, and then you make them realize that, look, there's life after Christmas. So what do? So Gary, for the rest of January? No. We have this person who's getting married in the family, the extended family, must we all go? can we have a representative there? Or if we can't afford the long journey with the challenges of security in the country, can we send a really good gift through courier? So, and these days you don't have to do all those big courier companies. You can send through a bus going to the next town. So you package a really nice gift and send ahead of time or even after the event, and they will appreciate it much more than you spending more, being there, and all of that. You can there. We do Zoom these days. We do all kinds of virtual meetings via different platforms. So you really don't have to be there. So stop putting yourself under pressure. The thing is, if you choose to go to the village, you talk about your accommodation, you talk about transportation, you talk about feeding, you talk about gifts for all kinds of people. It doesn't matter that it's been a year, a challenging year for everybody. People still have expectations. If you took yourself there, then you have to face what you get there. People are going to ask you for money. People are going to ask you for gifts. So imagine putting all of that together. How much is it going to cost you? What is going to be your budget? How is that going to affect you in a country that has entered into a recession and where people are getting laid off from their regular work, where a lot of people are innovating? So if you have extra cash now, you should be talking about your startup business, or you should be talking about your second stream of income in 2021, because jobs are not guaranteed now. So if you're not self-employed, this is the time to begin to think about self-employment in addition to what you do in your organization to augment whatever you have. This is not the time to be extravagant. This is the time to think through and do a lot of self-leadership and do a lot of influencing within the family, to influence junior, to influence the one in secondary school, to influence even your own husband or your own wife. So you need to calm down. You need to think through. You need to go into your inner self and talk to your higher self and then arrive at a conclusion. Nobody's going to lead you for you. You have to lead yourself. Part of leading yourself is to fashion out what you want to do with yourself this season in a recession.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lady Funke. I'll take this message here on the screen. It's from Silas. Silas. It says, I'm privileged to be here today. Thank you so much, Silas, for joining us. And another message here says, good day, the crew. Have been trying to connect but find it difficult. You are here now, Ame. Just go to the link that was shared on the page, and then you can join us. You can, if you have questions for our guests, please do drop them here because we'll be wrapping up shortly. You can see that she's loaded. I know we might do another part, maybe a part two before the year ends, because there are so many very resilient points you brought out. Take for instance the fact that the economy is going to recession again. I mean, we woke up the other day and we're saying that the federal government was warning workers that salaries might not come as early as they plan to, and all that. So we will be doing
Hello. 1 minute, please.
to okay. Hello. So
Hello, I'm
I
here.
hello. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry for the technical issues today. um there's a lady from Kenya who just joined. She wrote at her name is Adiambo. She says poor network, but I'm here now. Thank you very much. And another person too says good day. The crew have been trying to connect, but find it difficult. So as we wrap up, Lady Funke, what
Yes.
would be your word of advice? What would be your word of advice to people? Because you mentioned something very shocking. 2021, we're in God's hands and all that. What should people plan for?
You know what? A saint once told me that, and I just want to share this for what it is. Don't look at just take it for what it is. She said, and I quote, make love to the moment. Make
Hmm.
love to the moment. What is guaranteed is this minute. The next minute is not even guaranteed. So make love to the moment. Enjoy this moment. Plan for what you can and leave the rest in the hands of our maker. It doesn't matter what faith you practice. Just leave the rest in God's hand. But make love to the moment. In other words, maximize the moment, enjoy the moment, and let 2021 be. Somebody wrote on Facebook, and I read yesterday, said the way we're all thinking about 2021, 2021 will soon have stage frights, right? Because we have too much expectations. This one is say, in 2021, this is going to happen. In 2021, that is going to 2021 is almost having stage fright right now, like, ha,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I
like
do.
anti-COVID didn't let 2020 stay well. Anti-Coro, so the pressure is on 2021.
Yes, so let 2021 be. It's okay to make your projections and plan ahead, but don't obsess with it. Don't
Hmm.
obsess too much
Hmm.
with it. Allow things to unfold. There's the way the universe works. It is your faith that matters. Faith is different from fear. Faith is very, very different from fear. Faith is assured. Fear it brings worry. Fear puts you under pressure. Faith brings you assurance. So, regarding 2021 and your plans, make your projections. What quarter, second quarter, third quarter, leave the rest in the hands of God. And watch your faith in what you've written manifest. You do not say, Lord, bid me come, like Peter, and then you begin to say, yeah, what if I sink?
Yeah, I'm
Ah,
walking on the
what if I
water.
sink?
Yeah.
Of course, you start sinking. I have been there. Lord, bid me come. Okay, come. And then you're doing well, and then you just go, now, wow, I mean, they walk on top of water like this. What if I sink?
Miracle. Yeah.
That is, you will, you will sink. So help yourself. Don't fear the future. Don't be afraid of the future. Just deal with the moment, enjoy the moment, make love to the moment.
Well, thank you very much. So, on a final note, who are you sending your greetings to? You happen to be our first guest for the end of year series, so we'll just let you do your pre-Christmas greetings to everyone.
Thank you very much for that. I want to say thank you to you. I mean, you've been such a warm personality, a warm person. One would think we've known each other for years, but that's what happens when you're a man of purpose and you've lived your experiences, you've lived your mistakes, and you're charting a course for yourself as a leader. Thank you very much for the respect, for the honor, and for bringing me
Thank
twice
you.
in under a month. Thank you so much. Having said that, I want to thank all the new people in my life this season, in this year 2020. You've all made things happen for me. There is no amount of gift that I can give that can express how I feel and what you've done in my life. So I hope that some of them will see this video and know that I really appreciate them. And that includes, and these people include the people watching me on your platform, Ambassador. It includes the people watching me on your platform. Thank you very much for those people who believed in me. As I go, I want to say it's fantastic to leave your comfort zone for another, for your capacity zone. I'm in my capacity zone at the moment, and I thank everyone who's made it a joy to operate from my capacity zone. I thank the people giving me an award yesterday, Dr. Shegu Adeleye. Thank you so very much. My people at the sanitary pads media campaign. Thank you very much. The 12 women, like the 12 gifts of Christmas. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you. To the people who've been working with me on my new book, thank you very much. To everyone in my circle, you make me happy, you make me beautiful, and you make me feel I'm on the path of purpose. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Wow, thank you, Lady Funke Treasure, for being there for us. We truly, truly appreciate, and we wish you the very best as you go on. But I know we'll bring you back again, maybe before the new year starts, because there's something we need to really talk about for budget and planning. You touched about little on it, and I think you'll do a whole lot to talk about that when eventually we'll bring you on to fully talk about that. So, yeah, people, thank you so much for finding time to join us on the Saturday's edition. We started the first series, the first of the series of the end of year series. We'll be doing a whole lot, and then hopefully by next week, we'll be asking everyone watching us, all our viewers, to start sending their 10, 15 seconds felicitations that we'll be playing all through the program till the end of the year. You guys have been very, very supportive. Thank you all for all the things you've been doing for us, for making sure that we come here every time and do this program. Finally, I'd like to thank my guests. I always liken her, I always say in my mind, the woman with the sweet spirit. I want to thank Lady Anike-Ade Funke Treasure. Thank you so much for being there. Every time we have, I'm scared to invite you now the third time because the next time I will invite you again, maybe you'll be in Aso Rock receiving an award and all that. So I'll just take you by surprise and just say tomorrow you'll be our guest because it's now a trend. Every time we invite you, there's a book launch to be held, there's an award, there's a program and all that. Maybe when we bring you in now, you'll be in Germany as a guest speaker somewhere, but you're really an amazing woman and you're doing so well. And I think our viewers really like your skills, your outpour, and all that. So we'll find time to bring you within this period of the end of the year series. And yes, lastly, like our YouTube page, it is Shagalinko TV. In fact, on all social media platforms, it is Shagalinko TV on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and all that, Shagalinko TV. But on YouTube, remember to click the notification button so that whenever we go on air, you'll just get a notification and then you can join us. The videos are here, they'll be up here, especially for our viewers who their time zones and their region zones are different from ours. It's always here for you to catch up, and then you can drop your comments, and I guess we'll still be able to respond to them even after the show. So drop your comments later on when you wake up to watch the program, and we'll relay it back to her. Thank you everyone for making this special. I have to run along. There's a wedding. I am a wedding reception that I'll be anchoring. So I have to run along, change my clothes, and do something of the old one bear and go and rock. Lady Funke said we should make love to the moment. So yeah, I am going out to make love to the moment and have a nice time. Thank you all for finding time to join us. My prayer is that you have a beautiful weekend and enjoy the rest of the day. God bless you all. My name is Ambassador Emmanuel Gabari saying, have a beautiful time and bye bye.